welcome to another Come Create a Card with me. We are going to do yet another Christmas card. I know it's that kind of time of year, and so I wanted to show you a little bit different kind of card than what I've been creating. My name's Rachael Merrick. I am a independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Australia, and I wanted to share with you this very simple, I guess, card, but lots of layers that makes it even more special. So just going through very quickly some of the things that I'm using today. Okay, so we're going to actually use the Christmas greenery stamp in this one, and only one little stamp, and then we are also going to use the matching traditions of Christmas DSP as well. We are using a little bit of white space today, so you'll see that as well. Of course, we are using our Greetings for You Mix and Match ephemera pack. This one here, I mean, it's so full still of lots and lots of sentiments, which are embossed with gold, and they have their own sticky backing, but I've used this so much, and we're going to use one of the big ones today that say Joy. Also, what I'm going to use today is the Stampin' Cut and embossing folder. Now this is the Forever Plaid 3D embossing folder. A lot of my pieces today I've already pre-cut or pre-embossed. I just wanted to make a very short video this time, just so that you can have some of the ideas. Now, one of the things that are in the catalogue at the moment is a velvet paper. I think it's called All Seasons White. White, there's more than white in the pack, but it is got white in it. So I'm going to use this, I don't know if it'll pick it up, but it's like a flocked cardstock, okay? And we're going to use that today. And we're going to also use a piece of gold foil. So let me pop it all together for you. I'm going to use a white base here, and then I'm going to do a few layers. I'm going to put them together as we go. The measurement here is a standard Australian card. So it is an A4 cut in half and then folded in half. So we get two basic cards out of it. This actually ends up being 10.5 centimeters by 14.8 centimeters, and that is the base of our card. If any of my videos you have come across, you will notice that a lot of my cards are all in Australian. That is metric. So I do have, if you go down and have a look at my instruction, my directions, description on this video, it will show you a link of how to get to a converter for that. So if you want to use inches in your wherever you live in the world, then that will actually be helpful. So I'm just showing you, I have done 9 centimeters by 13.4. So we are making a little bit of a smaller piece that I normally do, and this is going to create the base card. Okay, the base part of our matting, I guess you could say. So that one's going to go on our card here. Okay, now the next one here I'm going to use is two strips of cardstock that is gold, and it's going to go on this one. Now for this particular DSP, on the back side is all this gorgeous printing, but on this side is Secret C. I really love the fact that this is a darker background, and so is our real red. So we're going to pop them on. So this one here, it's the same height. So we're still going with 13.8, but I've actually brought it back down to make a strip of 7.5. So to do this, first of all, I'm going to add my gold strip either side. Now I don't use tear and tape very often, but our gold foil card is a little bit tricky to adhere. So I am going to add my tear and tape. Now this one, I think I added about 1.5 centimeters wide, and still that 13.8 centimeters in height. This was just to allow enough room that it will peek out from either side. Okay, this is also a really good trick because you're not going, you could just do one big long piece that's going to be your border or your sides of your gold. However, this is a way of not using all of your specialty cardstock. So we just put strips instead. So we'll just move that to one side. We're going to put it here. So it's going to be, and I'm going to trim it back because I've made it just that little bit longer. So we line it up to the top, and then that's our little quartered border section on the side, our little siding. And then we're going to do exactly the same here, and I'm just going to line it up. I'm going to keep my hand underneath so it doesn't stick until I've actually decided where or how wide it is. I am eyeballing it, like I've said before. I do tend to do that. Okay, so I'm going to trim it back now. It's just a little bit longer, just so you get it really perfect. Okay, all right, and then this is going to go on here. So it does bring almost that real red almost all the way in the center, and that's okay too. So we're going to, so you're getting just a little bit of real red underneath. And I could have probably made it just that little bit shorter. I will add, because it's that foil cardstock, I'm going to add that tear and tape to either side, and then a little bit of glue in the middle, just so it all sticks. So I've still got a couple of projects coming up to Christmas. So if you have got a few cards or projects that you need to do, then I'm going to still show you a little bit of inspiration, at least for a couple more weeks. Okay, and I have got a countdown to Christmas weekly collaboration with Tracy Bish, so lots and lots in there as well. Now here is this velvet flocked specialty DSP. It's not quite hard, not quite as thick as cardstock is normally, but it's pretty sturdy. So I've thrown that through our embossing folder. Okay, and I've just cut it, I think it was 5 centimeters. Yep, 5 centimeters wide, and then I've done it just a little bit shorter, so 13.5. Okay, and we are going to add this here, and I'm going to bring it all the way to the very top. You could put it down here, and it's going to be exactly the edge here, but I'm just going to move it up a little bit, and I'm going to have it to one side. Now this one here, I am going to add dimensional dots to the back of this. It is not too bad on the back as far as being able to be stuck down. Now this flocked DSP, I guess we're going to call it, specialty paper, we do have that around at Christmas time. Often we've had different colors. We've had some of the sort of the flockings being a little bit thicker or thinner in the coating of it all. It is hard to see on the camera how pretty this is. It's kind of like textural. So I'm just going to add this on here so that it lines up on the top and then all the way down here. And look, it doesn't matter that, like, I could probably put lots and lots under that and keep it, but that's okay. So what I thought I would do, and I will show you, I hope I haven't, maybe I have lost it. Okay, I'm going to show you, because I don't know where it is. What I did was I grabbed this flocking, this same DSP, and I grabbed my real red. Now you're going to have to be careful with this one, okay, and I'm going to stamp on it. Okay, so we have got this beautiful image from one of the DSP sheets, and it is going to go on here. But I wanted to change my bow to red because I want it to be a lot more red than what it is. So I have got my little red, and they are little, stamp. And this is where I've got to be a little more, careful when I'm going to put this down. Now there's not enough room on that one, so I'll bring another little piece over. Okay, now this is going to take a bit to dry. So whilst you're doing this, I am going to cut it out, okay? But I am going to be very, very careful. I might even do it this way. Very careful cutting it out because look at that. Can you see that? It's very velvety, okay? I'm going to cut this out. I would love to be able to just put it aside and come back to it, but I'm not. I'm very impatient, so I'm not going to do that. I will need to make sure that I clean this off too because it will stain, okay? And particularly red-based stamps, or sorry, ink, what ends up happening is it does remain on your stamps for quite a long while. So you pick it up and it will still be on your fingers. All right, using my little snips, which unfortunately Stampin' Up no longer sell these. They are fantastic. So I'm trying really hard. That's why I've got a bit of a border around it. I'm trying not to touch that red ink. I haven't had a go at using my heat tool. Maybe you could try that. Okay. You get, I don't know how many sheets actually. I didn't look that in the catalogue, and the one and everything else has been put away. How many sheets? I'll pop it down the bottom of the video because this is actually really pretty, and of course it doesn't have to be a Christmas card, even though it's in the catalogue for the Christmas up to December catalogue. Sorry, I am concentrating as much as I can. I'm trying hard not to touch this if I can help it, because I did do a little bit of a practice, and yes, you can see here it does get on here. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because as long as it doesn't get on anything else on the card whilst it's drying. And look, the other thing you can do, I had seen a tip ages ago about this, and you can spray it with hairspray. I'm not keen to do that, but that's okay. I'm going to just glue it down on top of that bow on here. So I'm just going to add my glue to the sections here, just tiny little bit so it sticks, okay, on here. And I'm actually going to be very careful when I pop this on over the top like so. And like I said, it sort of adds that extra little layer, okay? So speaking of layers, I am going to pop this one down, so I'll need a little bit of a dimensional dot, so where it hangs over one side, just here, like so, and a bit of glue. Now I've got to put a fair bit on here because that flocked DSP is a bit tricky for it to adhere. There we go, pop this one on here. Okay, we're almost finished. We're going to add our sentiment on here. I probably should have put that. I'm going to move it actually. I need it to be a little bit higher. So you can see all that glue on there, and it doesn't dry very quickly. I love dimensional dots. If you're very careful with them and not push them down too hard, they will actually be easy to peel off. Okay, taking it further up like so, and having it, there we go. All right, add our little sentiment of joy. Okay. And look, I will add, I'm not going to do this on camera, but I'm trying really hard to make sure that I do the inside whilst I am creating. I often go back when I go to use the card, and that seems to just be a waste of, not waste of time, but it adds an extra bit. All right, so I'm going to pop this here. It is going to overlap a little bit on our ribbon, but that's okay. Hold it down there like so. And I'm done. You know what? I think I will add, I wasn't going to, but I think I will add just a few of our little shimmering sequins. And I want them to be, don't want them to be gold. I have been using heaps of these red. I just like the red that pops. So one here, one, always three, try to do three. We do like to have an odd number. I think I might have it over here. There we go. All right, and that is a very goldy and textured, shiny and textural card, and very, very pretty. A little bit different. It's not like full on Christmas colors or anything like that, but it is quite pretty in its simplicity as well. Thanks everybody for joining me. Please make sure that you leave me a comment. If you have joined me in the chat today, thank you so much. I was sitting there having a cuppa and watching along too, and I do love that. I get to create and then come back later and chat to everybody, because me trying to do both at the same time is really, really tricky. Just talking and doing things is a bit tricky for me at the moment. But make sure that you are subscribing, because all of my upcoming videos will be able to be notified if you are a subscriber. Okay, thanks everybody. I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.